You've done this before. You're virtually a seasoned pro on and off the court now.
Well, yeah, I did it at the last game that we had at home. Really enjoyed it. So when I got asked to do it again, jumped to the chance.
How was that tonight?
I can't actually believe what I've just seen. That was really, really, really good from Carl.
He's not concerned about his own match whatsoever. No. What have we just witnessed there? That was unbelievable.
Well, yeah, Carl was definitely not favourite, massive underdog going into that game. I don't remember a time that those two have played where Raj hasn't won.
Well, we were just talking, myself and John, we were just saying that to our knowledge, Baxter had never beaten Ouseph in a competitive game, and at 2-0 down, you guys must be sat there thinking, yep, same old, it's going to carry on.
To be honest, at 2-0 down, and I think he was something like 7-3 or 7-2 up in the third set. I was thinking to myself, Carl could be 2-0 up here. It was 8-all in the first, where anything can happen, and then he had the power play game point, to both players in the second. So I think very unlucky to be 2-0 down. But yeah, when it was 2-0, we thought maybe Raj would run away with this a little bit, but Carl managed to come back and eventually win in 5 sets.
Well, he made history in the very first NBL game live on Sky and won that one. And now Carl Baxter has got some personal history as well for himself. He's beaten Raj Ouseph, and effectively he's given the win to the Smashers. It's all about more points now, though, John.
That's right. Derby are now just playing for pride. They've got to try and win these last 2 games. You know, it's not. They've lost this match tonight, but they've got to try and pick up some points here. Karin's got to try and win this game against Soraya, and then they've got to try and win the men's doubles to get anything out of the match, because, as I say, that was a big surprise, a huge surprise for me. Carl deserved all the credit. As Matt was saying, that he had game points in both his first 2 sets, but it was uncharacteristic of Raj to actually let a game like that slip. But you've got to give all credit to Carl. He showed a lot of fight. He got the crowd into the game, and as I say, it just shows what can happen in the NBL. There's nothing certain.
Now, early doors, I said I'd put the kibosh on a 5-0 because the commentator's saying something, it normally goes completely the opposite way. However, that was one of the games that would automatically have stopped you thinking it would be a 5-0. Now, all of a sudden, 3-0. Surrey got the main part of this in the bag. 2 more to go. Confidence at an all-time high here. Might just be back on for it.
Yeah, I thought this game would be 3-2. I thought that Surrey Smashers was favourite in the mixed, and they showed it after the first game. But then, you know, Surrey were big favourites in the ladies' doubles. But again, Derby let a couple of match points go in that game, and as you say, we've just seen an incredible result by Carl. And as I say, Derby now have just got to play for pride, try and get these last 2 victories and actually come away from tonight with something.
Yeah, the last thing Derby want to do is go back to Derby, back down the M25, M1, trust me, I know the journey, and get home and realise the league table hasn't changed for them, because they need to add to the 5 points they had, and their opportunity here comes with Karin Schnaase.
Yeah, I think from tonight, obviously Surrey are going to remain top of the league, but Derby don't want to start losing this match 4 or 5-0, or they'll go right to the bottom of the league. Especially
considering that MK have already won 3-0, and they've got 2 more games to go, so they're putting big points on the board. You look quite surprised when I said that, Matt.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's been a few surprises tonight, but I think the NBL is going to deliver that all season.
Ouseph, another of the Dutch contingent playing here with the Surrey Smashers. Leads by 2 in the early stages of this women's singles. The 21-year-old from the Arnhem area concedes her first point at this event. Schnaase, some 9 years a senior, just turning 30 recently. He likes this tune, does the man with the button, doesn't he? He's, let's go, Surrey.
I think it's better than the Benny Hill one anyway.
Yeah, let's put that in the bin.
Matt's too young to remember Benny Hill.
Tell it's Harry Hill, that'll do, that's fine. 3-1. Ouseph Schnaase is from a little place called Ludinghausen. For those that like their geography, it's about 20 miles north of Dortmund.
I actually have been there a few times. I play for her club in Germany.
I knew that.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It's about an hour away from Dusseldorf Airport.
There you go. That's your holiday planned. Schnaase getting it back to 3 apiece and just starting to stretch young Eisbergen around a bit. But, it is the Dutch lady that leads 4-3. An international feel to this contest now. What's it like to have some of the best players from around Europe, part of your team, part of your opponent's team as well? It's must add to the quality of the game.
Yeah, really, really good for us to see the best players in the world playing in your team and in the other teams playing against each other. It gives you a really good perspective on the game, and you can see how other people play, and you learn all the time.
Eisbergen won the women's singles at the Dutch International in their first breakthrough senior season. Misplaced Schnaase. Current German #1, reigning European bronze medalist as well. Reach from Schnaase on both occasions there, John. That was absolute quality.
Yeah, Schnaase is a very physical player. You see, she's quite short, but she's got real strength in those legs, very strong legs. She's able to cover the court very, very well. There's a real contrast in styles here. Soraya is quite an attacking player, and Schnaase is more of a rallier, will defend very, very well.
Just a couple of really strong points there from Schnaase, and Team Derby, how they need her to get them a point on the board as far as the league table goes. Again, John, on paper, before you even get these ladies out on court, just the quality that these two are bringing really shows you what this NBL competition is all about, doesn't it?
Yeah, Karin's an established lady singles player in Europe, as I say, a current bronze medalist in the Europeans, and Soraya is an up-and-coming young player who's a very exciting player to watch. She's going to have a great career.
She's got a 100% record in the NBL this Schnaase so far, so she'll be looking to keep that. But that's a great shot from Soraya. Beat Fontaine Chapman of the Birmingham Lions, and Linda Zachiri, the Bulgarian, plays for Loughborough. She beat her 3-1 in Schnaase, and that's something that Eisbergen knows all about. She's also beaten Bulgarian in this competition as well. Eisbergen's other victory came against Liz Kant of MK Badminton. No real surprise, these two are pretty much level pegging. From my point of view, John, just something I've noticed that all the players really light on their feet. Schnaase seems to slam them down as she's moving. You hear the court sort of bouncing as she takes her steps. It's a real different style to a lot of the things we've seen so far this evening.
Yeah, as you can see, she's a very powerful mover, and she relies on her movement and her court coverage in this game. Soraya's a little bit more light on her feet and a bit more attacking.
erratic from Schnaase. What's the mood like, Matt, within the Smashers team? You were top before you went into it and carrying on.
Yeah, the mood's very good. We haven't lost yet, and obviously tonight we've still kept our unbeaten record, so the morale in the camp's very, very high. Everyone's getting on like really, really well. So hopefully it'll come together nicely and everyone will feed off each other.
First one goes Surrey's way, and seemingly everything going Surrey's way as Birmingham pull one back against MK Badminton. Fontaine Chapman with the victory for the Birmingham Lions. So England's number one getting herself a victory, much needed for the Lions. We talked about all the teams really. You've got to win one, if not two, of the events in defeat just to keep you ticking over and moving up that leaderboard.
Yeah, sometimes it's just damage limitation here. Obviously Derby have lost this match, but they've just got to keep fighting, and it's the same with Birmingham against Milton Keynes. They've got to just try and fight for every single point. Karin won't give up this though. You know, she's played Soraya twice in the last year and won both times, so she knows what it needs. She knows what it requires to beat Soraya, but Soraya's playing very well at the moment, very accurate attacking shots.
She's also been very good on the in this NBL tournament. She saved 5 match points for the Surrey Smashers in December to win her contest, and that then led the Smashers to go on and win 3-2 in a very dramatic competition against Loughborough Sport.
Yeah, I watched that match and she showed great character. That's what you want. You know, you want somebody who's prepared to fight even when the game looks, you know, dead and buried. You've got to just keep fighting because you never know what happens. And as I say, this format does allow you to get back into games even when it looks as though you've got no chance.
Are you affecting your training, Matt? Are you changing sort of routines to cope with this format, or do you just carry on as normal and hope you've got something in the bag for this change?
Well, to an extent, yes, we do carry on as normal because the scoring hasn't changed in our own tournaments. But I know me and my partner have recently, when the NBL has started, make sure in games we come at the start with a very, very fast start, because we know in this as well that to 9 anything can happen. So the quicker you get out of the starting blocks, the better.
Yeah, something we thought, going back to that last game with Carl, we expected Carl to come out really quickly in the first one, and it just didn't quite happen. And then we also noticed, and this is another one for you. Obviously, you're in the mix, you're in the know here. How conscious are you of the power play? You know, when you get to 7, is it something you keep remembering, or is it something that's so new that every now and again you kind of just slips out of your mind?
No, I think you do think about it, but I think you want to save it for that moment that you think might happen later on in the game. I think if you're taking it in the first or the second set, I think it's not as good as where if you're taking it maybe when you're 2-0 down and then you in the third set you take it and you maybe win the game at 7 to get to 9. But it's definitely always in your head. We didn't actually manage to take it in the mix because they had the power play in the fourth set, sorry. So eventually we didn't have time to take it, but in that instance it didn't really matter.
Perhaps you can ask if you can stock that up. If you didn't use it this time, can I have 2 next time?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
There's a new rule for the next season of the NBL. Maybe not. Another fist pump of delight from Iceberg, and this time because it just closes the gap. Asa was starting to pull away, as she'll need to do and needs to continue to do. Already 1 down, Team Derby 3 down. So, it's out. And the gap continues to close.
I think the crowd are playing a massive part tonight. Raj, especially in the men's singles with Raj, he was comfortable at 2-0 up. The crowd and Carl definitely made Raj play worse than his best level in the latter of the 3 games, which definitely does like play on your mind. The crowd, it makes it really hostile environment, and it is, I guess, for the opposition, very hard to play against when everybody mainly is against you in here.
It did feel like every glimmer of light that Raj allowed Baxter to have, the crowd tried to pull that open and really let it through. They were really on Baxter's side every time. He just, even 2-0 down, there was one glimpse of him coming back, and they were there. They were right behind it.
Definitely in the competitions that we play normally, there's never really, only maybe in finals when you're in Asia and playing somebody from that country, very rarely do you play with a crowd that is all against you. So it's a very new environment for a lot of players.
It's a good example for some of the other teams in the NBL, I suppose, that you guys here, not just on the court but off the court, you've really thought about it, got the crowd involved, the big screen moving here. Just a topple over the top of the net. But the clappers making noise, you're filling the crowd here. The 1100 sold out tonight. Music's pumping, the announcers are on. You guys have got your Twitter handles on the backs of your uniforms as well. You've really, really embraced the NBL.
Yeah, it's important that we get rid of the idea that badminton's just a patty game in the back of the garden. It can be quite hostile and it can be quite passionate at times. As Matt was saying, in Asia it goes to another level. It really does, and it's great for the young players to experience it, because if they go to Asia and start playing at the high level of tournaments, that's what they're going to experience every single match they play.
5-8 here. Schnaase needs just one to level this one up. She's being stretched though, and that's another one back for Eisbergen. As Jazzy Jeff comes on. I feel 12 again. Eisbergen again, just trying to get Schnaase on the back foot. Chance here. Schnaase shows her ability. Some wonderful shots here. And some great defense as well. What a shot that is from Schnaase. Oh, she just couldn't get up. There was a moment there, you looked at it and you just felt she was actually lying on the floor watching it, and she didn't get up perhaps as quick. I'm not talking as a professional athlete, but she perhaps could have got up a little bit quicker. But
I think you're being harsh there. I think that was incredible athleticism.
But it was brilliant. Was what I was going to say.
I think also maybe because Soraya hesitated. So I think maybe Soraya thought it was going out, and Karin maybe was lying on the floor watching it. Is it going out? Is she leaving it? But then eventually she hit.
We've got the power play here, so if Soraya wins this point, it's 2-0.
Oh yes! Eisbergen celebrates. Smashes a racket through the air. Happy, happy, happy. And all of a sudden, that unthinkable 5-0 that we talked about at the top of the night, John, well, it's thinkable, isn't it?
Yeah, that's she showed a lot of character there to win that game. There was no way I saw that happening. But as you say, it's just one or two rallies can really completely change the picture of a match. And she's shown it in previous matches against Loughborough when she played Sakiri that she's never out, and it's very impressive to see a young player show that amount of character.
More interesting news, John, and just to show that we said, I first met you this evening and you said to me, you know what, the great thing about this NBL is that I wouldn't gamble on any of it. I wouldn't bet on anything because it's all interchangeable. And I sort of said to you, give me an idea of the best sort of 2 or 3 teams in this division before we started, and you said Surrey here, real high quality. We talked about the players involved with Team Derby and the quality they got from experience of Emms and to Ouseph as well. You then said to me, Loughborough are in the mix here, big team, 3-0 down at Nottingham.
Yeah, it's going to be like this to the rest of the season.
What's going on?
Yeah, well, it's great. We want some unpredictability in the game. If it was just certain who was going to win every match, then it would become boring. It's important.
And a real never say die attitude being shown in the NBL all over the country tonight. Emphasised by Carl Baxter, I suppose, in the last event, and being hammered home by young Soraya de Wiesijsbergen. He's showing no sign of letting up against the very experienced Karin Schnaase. Have you guys met up this evening or in the last couple of days? You've obviously talked about this competition against Team Derby. This is your issue tonight. These are the team in front of you. Did you sit there and think, these are the games we will win, these are the games we might win? Was 5-0 ever on the cards for you?
Yeah, you always talk about those things.
Honestly, I love that. That's brilliant.
I think we made a plan to get 3, and I think the plan was obviously all the doubles.
Yeah, I was going to say, was it later than this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe 3-2 would have been the plan in the coach's head, and yeah, obviously things turn out differently on the night, which you can see, and hopefully we can get as many rubbers as we can now, just to emphasise that we're at the top of the league.
Yeah, really interesting. Virtually exactly the answer that John gave us earlier on. You know, he felt that early doors, you take 2. He thought it was going to go down to a 2-all, and then go down to that very last match. Just hasn't happened tonight. And
yeah, I think we all thought that.
Yeah, well, Eisbergen, not all by her own doing, because Schnaase has put that one out, but Eisbergen is pushing the Smashers back into contention for a 3-0 whitewash in this one as well.
I think it would be interesting if we played the teams that we played at home away. I think it may have been a different story.
I think tonight's match was, with the order, Surrey looked very strong in the first 2 matches, and and I expected them to be 2-0 up, but we got that unexpected result from Raj losing it, and it's all down to the pressure. It's very hard to win a match when you're 2-0 down, and we've seen this tonight that Raj didn't play to his best. Carl really raised his level, and it's just the unpredictability that's so great about this.
Proving to be a wonderful competition, and interesting on Twitter. If you are on there, you can get involved at NBL_official. Hashtags they use here is NBL League, hashtag game changer, hashtag NBL Badminton. Just in a statement from Carl about his match, he says the last 10 years I've tried to beat Raj. This is one of the great days. Understatement, I would imagine. He must be buzzing. And certainly to do it from 2 down.
Yeah, it's he wouldn't have ever beaten Raj, and I don't think he would have ever thought he could beat Raj. But,
and give him a head start. Here, Eisbergen has got herself 6-4 up in this game. She's 2 games up. Smashers are 3 points. Smashers are 3 points from a 4-0 lead. Oh, and it just wouldn't drop for Eisbergen on that one. Yeah, a bit of a sigh of relief as a timeout call, and not surprising here, John. Timeout from Team Derby. They need to regroup.
They do, absolutely, and I'm sure the coach for Team Derby is there just trying to reassure Karin that she's still in this match. She's only 1 or 2 points away from pulling a set back here, and if it goes back to 2-1, she's very much in this. Karin's a very experienced player. She will be feeling the pressure, obviously, because she's two games to 0 down, and her team have lost the match already. But the coach here will just be trying to reaffirm and just trying to Just calm her down. Get her back to playing her tactics. You know?
Really interesting. I'm just, we've got a great line of sight of the Team Derby bench, and there's like a look of shell shock amongst some of them. Really trying now to get Schnaase involved, but you can see Gail Emms just looking on in a bit of shock, really.
Yeah, they wouldn't have expected this.
Eisbergen just unable to stretch, and Schnaase levels it up at 6, and that's what Team Derby need. It's into the net. 3. 2, should I say. Now is all Eisbergen needs. Just unable to reach. I kind of feel for you a little bit, Matt, here. You've been dragged up here into the commentators. I bet you wouldn't mind being down there with your teammates watching all of this, because it must be a real buzz to see the rest of your team, and knowing yourself you've got your victory, and seeing the rest of your team perform so well.
Yeah, exactly. It makes me a little bit more calm being up here. Everyone's a little bit tense, especially when Powell's playing. Obviously, a bit happier there.
Were any of you sat there sweating as much as he was on the court? Because he was absolutely dripping. Schnaase now has a chance to get one back here for Derby in this. Eisbergen moving her around. Oh, Schnaase took it, and that brings a huge yelp. How does that 5th game tiebreaker feel? Not only have we already narrowed it down just to 9 points, then all of a sudden you get, I've only got 5 to play with.
Yeah, and also if it's 3-0, then it's even quicker, because you could take power play, win at 1 point, and then it's done in 2 points. Really, like, nerve-wracking. Quite hard to explain.
I like the fact that the NBL has really, it's got to the players as well, hasn't it? You've all taken it on. This is not a test series. This is not, we're not playing at it. You guys, you want to win this.
Yeah, too right we do. I don't think we'd be here as players or as a team if we didn't believe that we could win.
Well, John.
That's because they get bonuses, Alan, if they get through.
Clearly
a good scheme going on here at Surrey.
Matt was too polite to say so.
I think Karin's listened to her coach very well here, saw her saying going over and before over and then in front of her rather than playing it flat with her, and it seems to have worked from being 6-4 down in the 3rd game.
She's let it go, quite rightly. A few oohs and ahs from the crowd during that rally.
Matt, what do you think of the power play in terms they've changed the colour of the power play shot? What do you think of that?
I knew you were going to ask him that.
I thought at first they might have forgotten the tuba shuttles. The shuttles are obviously just normal shuttles, which is obviously good for the players. But when we get after the rally is finished, we get told to hit it into the crowd. And for me personally, I would like a pink shuttle come at me if I was in the crowd. I think when it's a normal shuttle, I don't think it's as special as when it's with a pink shuttle.
Hey, look, we were told you guys didn't like the pink shuttle.
No, it's a
now
lot
you're
different.
Complaining.
It's a lot different. It really is a lot different. It's hard to explain that maybe a gram of like highlighter pen makes a massive difference, but it really does. The whole dynamics of the shuttle change. But obviously for the crowd, they see something different flying in the air, and it's a lot better.
I've thrown in a request for the rugby ball to be played in the power play. See how you all cope with that. Again, that will be vetoed along with any other ideas I could have come up with. But here, Hansbergen and Schnaase are fighting it out. Schnaase's coming back from 2 games down. Flexy, bendy style of Schnaase finding real power. Eisberger just knocking it into the net. They've pulled a timeout here, and what will coach and player be discussing here, Matt?
Yeah, I think for Schnaase, definitely more of the same. I think from 6-4 down in that 3rd set, she's definitely got the tactics right. For Soraya, it's definitely going to be just to keep going, maybe some different tactics to contradict what Schnaase has started to do. But yeah, definitely the right time to call the timeout for Surrey.
Mentally, John, you've gone 2-0 up, and you've lost one, and then you're getting a bit of a kick in the next one as well. How will she be feeling, Eisberg?
I think she's just got to draw on her experience from her other matches where she looked down and out when she was playing Loughborough, and if it goes to two games all, she's still in it. She's only got to win 3 points. That's the way she's got to think. I know it's easy to say sitting back here when we're not on court with all the pressure, but that's the way she's got to believe that I win this point, then I can win the match. It's as simple as that. Well, it sounds simple anyway.
Keeping it simple with John Quinn. That's maybe that'll be the hashtag next time. 5-3. It's nice. I think she faces Eisbergen's serve. And the German is not accurate with that one.
Definitely better there from Soraya to take the game to Karin Schnaase rather than waiting for Karin to do something.
A notable change straight away from that timeout for the Surrey Smasher. What a shot from Soraya. Eefje Eisbergen, and the 21-year-old brings it level, 5 apiece here in game 4. Best of 5, and it really is hot right now. See the sweat on the shoulders of Eisbergen. She was struggling in this 4th game, got it level. Now she's moving. Schnaase around the court, who's on the deck. And Schnaase here is just throwing herself all over. But Eisberg and Matt Nottingham just raises a finger in the air, a celebration. John just gives a nod of approval. Neither are very useful when you've only got a microphone, I must admit, gentlemen, but either, that was superb stuff.
Yeah, that was a great rally by 2 very committed players. As I say, really contrasting styles. You know, Soraya's attacking everything, and Schnaase's just defending with all her life to stay in the rally.
I can't explain to you how hard that last shot was from Soraya to get that actually over the net, and with that angle from bending her back that far round to the left, racket right round, and to get that right round to the cross court, right to the right side, really difficult.
Crowd encouraged to make some noise. They've not needed much encouragement all evening. 6-5, Eisbergen with the serve here. Oh, what a shot that is from Schnaase. Under a bit of pressure here.
I think if Schnaase can take this set, I think it will knock a lot out of Soraya after getting back into this.
If she takes this next point, John, you've got to think she'll be looking at that power play shuttlecock.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh, what a shot. Right into the corner. Doesn't get much further than that. And, well, 2 more points. And Surrey Smashers have themselves 4 points for the evening with 1 left to play. Schnaase does have the power play left. And it's wild. 1 away here, Matt. How will she be feeling? Nice and cool, or just going to feel a bit of pressure here?
Definitely cool.
I don't believe that for a second. She's got 2 match points, which will make her feel a little bit better, but she'll be feeling the pressure.
I think the coaches from Derby look like they're feeling the pressure as well.
Yeah, they do. It's big here for Eisbergen. Don't get the point, and you know full well that Schnaase will use that power play. Matt, he's trying to dive onto the court from his commentary position. Oh, what a shot! And what a victory for young Soraya Eisbergen and the Surrey Smashers, John. 4-0.
Yeah, great result that was. She's really showing a lot of potential in this match. I thought Schnase's experience and physicality would win over in that match, but she's a very exciting player, and I think in years to come we could be looking at somebody who's going to win in a lot of titles.
There you go. John Quinn says keep your eyes peeled for Soraya Eisbergen. So the lady, as she comes off now, wonderful performance. Well, this crowd erupted when Baxter won it, and they've just gone mad again. There's a few of them are moving. Do they realise there's 1 game left? I'm not sure they do. There's a few people have turned and left. I'm not quite sure whether they realise there's still 1 event to come. But
I don't think they'll be leaving before this last game.
no, absolutely. Somebody's just won themselves a signed Smashers shirt. Carl Baxter, the man of the moment, is going to present that shirt in a couple of moments. Here he comes, look at this. Young man has just won himself a signed Smashers shirt. And he can say, I won that the night Carl Baxter finally beat Rajiv. 4-0. Wildest dreams being reached here in the NBL. I've got a slight feeling, John, it's our fault somehow. We definitely said it definitely wouldn't happen.
Commentator's curse. Is that what we say?
Wow. The next time Derby see our names on a commentary list, they'll refuse to play. Stunning stuff. 4-0. However, no whitewash just yet, because 2 blokes in red shirts will have something to say about it. And as you know quite well, John, there's plenty of experience here. Andy Ellis and Chris Coles coming up. Ellis, 28 years of age, 6'1". Chris Coles, 22, 6'2". And I talked to you a little bit earlier about how height changes your game against the opposition. Chris Langridge, the captain for the Smashers, he's 5'11". Dean George is 5'10", so they're giving away a little bit of height, but you said it's not too bad.
No, it's not. That's not significant. Of course, if you're big, if you're taller and bigger, then you can hit steeper smashes, and you might have a bigger presence on the court. But generally, you'll see that Chris and Dean are not. They're going to be very agile and fast around the court. So I don't think there's any worry there that size will have anything to do with this result. It's the best players will win, the ones who can actually control themselves in this format.
Are we looking at some real power in this then?
Yeah, definitely. I think the 2 lads that are on court now they've got one of the biggest smashes down in the National Badminton Centre where all the England train. But again, Chris Langridge is also probably up there with one of the biggest smashes as well. So I think it's definitely going to be a battle of the most composed pair who can get the lift. like the first pair to get the lift will probably win the rallies more often than not.
So Langridge and George against Ellis and Cole's Smashers, with a wonderful chance to really send a message to the rest of this league. If they can put 5 past Team Derby, the rest of the teams, John, they've just got to sit and listen to that, haven't they?
Absolutely. If they win this match 5-0, it's really setting a marker for the other teams. There'll be a few teams not wanting to come down to Surrey and play here, because it's quite a hostile environment, and the Surrey team have definitely coped a lot better tonight, because you know there's a few matches that could have gone either way, especially the ladies doubles probably should have gone Derby's way, and the men's singles and ladies singles could have gone Derby's way, but you know they've coped with the environment far better than Derby. It was probably a help that obviously they've played one of their previous matches here before, so you get a feeling for a court. You know, people maybe who are watching might not think there's any difference playing in a court like this to a normal sports hall, but it is very different, and players get a little bit superstitious about where they play, and they'll feel comfortable, you know, if they've played on a court and played well, that you know, and as I say tonight, Surrey have looked far more comfortable, especially in the pressurised situations.
How have the players taken to it, all the razzmatazz that's going on? How have you guys at the Smashers taken to it?
Yeah, I think different players take to it different ways. I know there's a couple of players that were very nervous, some that just enjoy it and they play better for it.
Are you for or against?
I think it's quite easy to tell in my game. I was quite nervous, but I sort of got into it you have to get into it quite quickly, which is the new scoring. It makes you think twice, and you just have to be calm.
I think, John, based on that answer, so something like this, is this good for younger players to come through experience? Because then when you, as you said earlier, if you go off into Asia and it's huge and the crowds are buzzing every time, is that good experience for them to have, so it doesn't just hit them like a brick wall?
Absolutely. It's you know, and I hope in the future more young players get the opportunity to play, because you can't recreate this type of atmosphere in training. It's just impossible. And you know, this atmosphere, the noise, the sound, you know, the TV, everything is just different senses that young players don't or haven't experienced in the past. And it takes a while to get accustomed to it. Even somebody like Matt, he has experience, but he doesn't have huge experience of playing in huge arenas and big competitions, and even he's still getting nervous, and it does take time. You know, you've got players there, Andy's 28, Chris is 28 as well. They'll be nervous. It's just they cope better with the pressure. So
it's all right for you now. The next time you go abroad and there's loads of cheering, you just go, no, and this is nothing. You should come to the sports bar.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think when players do go out to Asia, especially Thailand and Indonesia, places like this, you've got 15,000 people every day, all
partisan
day.
Crowds, isn't it?
Yeah, in there, and you can't imagine the noise. It is just non-stop noise, and for that, and they say players that go for their first year, it hits them and they don't play very well, whereas these situations here, they prepare you for that.
Well, Derby are looking to stop the drubbing, but it hasn't quite started as they wanted to. Dean George smashing that one past the helpless face of Andy Ellis, who just gave him a nod of appreciation and a bit of respect there.
I think he forgot how quick Dean is, actually.
Ellis will soon switch on to that, though.
Yeah.
Birmingham have done what they needed to do. From 3-0 down, they've managed to finish the game on 3-2, so at least they've added those valuable points, and that's exactly what we were talking about. And you were saying NK Badminton causing a surprise by being 3 up, but Birmingham at some point, you kind of, a bit like here I suppose, but you kind of thought Birmingham would come away with something.
Yeah, definitely Birmingham were second going into this match. So yeah, for us it's definitely good that we've got the 4 points and they've only got the 2 points.
That could end with 5, of course. One more opportunity, and here it's 2-1 Ellis and Coles. Ellis will he'll be very disappointed with that, won't he?
Yeah, that was a bit of a twitchy serve, that one. I'm sure Andy won't appreciate me saying so, but that was a little bit of a nervy serve.
It was interesting, we caught a chat with Andy before the night started, and he was kind of saying he was looking forward to his game because he felt that it would be 2-all, and there'd be a bit of pressure on him in that respect. Actually, now there's just pressure on him because they could just do with something.
Yeah,
a different pressure, but still the same.
Yeah, they've got to play for pride. Andy and Chris will want to win regardless of the score. Whether they could have been winning 4-love or losing 4-love, it's still the same. They've got their personal pride. They won't want to lose this game.
By the same token, Matt, your captain won't want to walk off here with the rest of you lot ribbing him if he hasn't won his game and you lot have all won yours.
No, I don't think he will, you're right. I think, like I said before, everyone wants to win for the team and for themselves. Nobody likes losing.
Again, good use of the PA system here at the sports park. We're all square, so 4 apiece. There is the Smashers bench. They all look rather relaxed and chilled out. Could smile a bit more. You can pass that on, Matt.
I will do.
They're winning 4-0. What's up with them? 4-5 here. 5-4, should I say? Ellis just changes shuttlecock. Smash, quite frankly. That was, we talked about there being lots of power on show before these 4 got started, and that was a big example of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's men's doubles is the fastest game that we'll see tonight, and there hasn't been so many rallies yet, but I'm sure both pairs will settle and we'll see some really exciting stuff. But it is the quickest game, it's the fastest.
Nice.
As you say, we haven't seen a rally. There we go. It's mid-flow. It's
I should keep talking then, shouldn't I?
yeah, just keep saying what's going to happen, and then that'll happen. I've got some lottery tickets here you can fill in as well.
Maybe we should write the numbers down that you don't think they're going to be.
Team Derby oohs from the crowd. Chris Cole's seeing a lot of the action here. Now it's Ellis' turn to fend off the Surrey team. Oh, and he'll be upset with himself there, Chris, won't he?
Yeah, definitely. Read the shuttle really well, got the racket up, just mistimed it. I think maybe didn't see it properly.
I think he's being kind to him there, Alan. I think it's his ex-partner he's defending him.
So 6 apiece. Another change. Again, the chance of let's go Surrey.
The shuttles do take a lot of battering in the men's doubles. As you say, it's one of the fastest events.
Next time you're with me, John, I want an answer as to what do you think the average amount of shuttlecocks used in a men's doubles match is?
It's normally about 10 to 12.
Next time. I knew he'd know the answer.
Yeah, about 10 to 12.
I think you'd probably find that top level men's singles might change the shuttle more.
Yeah, I think they do.
I think they just change it because they like the shuttles new. Yeah. They sort of just change it every point sometimes.
That's an expensive way around it. The sound effects continue here in Surrey.
Yeah, that's going to make Andy feel really great.
Seven apiece, so a tight affair here. Oh, and George just unable to turn that back.
Yeah, good channel attack there from Derby. Andy really stepping across on to Dean's side, realising that Chris had smashed down the line. Very hard to turn it across from there, so he steps on that.
Two-time European bronze medalist Andy Ellis, two-time national champion as well. Got a silver medal from the Commonwealth Games to boot.
Jumping serve opportunity. What do you think? Lango doesn't like flicking usually.
So a chance to put the first game to bed here. Forced to the captain to start.
Yeah.
Oh, and they've taken the first one. And Ellis and Coles, John, they already had a rather big task to save some pride. Just got a little bit bigger.
They have. It's been a common theme tonight that the Surrey players are just playing the bigger, more important points a lot better. They're being far more aggressive and far more, tactically aware. And it's been, as I say, it's been the story of nearly most of the matches tonight, and they're continuing to do so, and that's a confidence thing.
Loughborough have got themselves one back against Nottingham as well, so everybody but Derby now has registered a point around the country. In that time, Nottingham would want one more. That really would propel them up the leaderboard, considering tonight's results. Oof, and Langridge ducking. Another change. Three-time medalist at the Commonwealths, Chris Langridge. Surrey born and proud. But, here just apologising to his teammate. One apiece. Oh, Baxter just walking by and high-fiving Matt. It's a rather big smile that Carl Baxter's wearing, isn't it?
I think he'll be wearing that for a few days.
He just said to me, at last.
I wonder if he's got some sort of spreadsheet at home that he's just going to tick off when he gets back in. Two apiece here.
Yeah, it's the first service fault of the night.
Big crowd here at the sports park, still making noise even here in the very last event, and they've been entertained tonight with some stunning play, some fantastic results. That shot there from Chris Coles. And they won 3-0 in their last outing against Loughborough. These two are already trailing by one, but they're 3-2 up here in this second game.
Yeah, this is a very evenly matched game.
Ellis not choosing to play, trying to get out of the way, just fell short for him though. There's a family or group of people in the crowd who've got individual letters, it just says Dino. See if we can point them out to you a little bit later on. There's Dean George stretching and keeping that on, and then thrashed back by Chris Coles, who gave him the look as well. He carried on looking after he'd hit that.
Yeah, I think the Derby pair have got to pressurise Dean a little bit more here. He's the only non-full-time player on here. He's still an excellent player by any means, and he used to be in the GB program, etc. But they've got to put him under a little bit more pressure. You'll probably find that Chris is a little bit more stable and solid, so they've got to put a little bit more pressure on Dean if they want to take this game.
He's a head coach of a club himself now, inspiring the next generation, and well, the NBL have done enough inspiring on its own tonight. If you've been watching this and you fail to be inspired to perhaps go and pick up a racket, I don't know what else would inspire you to, because this has been simply brilliant. A wonderful example from the Smashers. Oh, good stuff from Dean George. As you said there, John, might not be full-time anymore, but he's showing some real experience.
He's still a very dangerous player.
He's still playing a little bit round in the English circuit. He won the top English circuit tournament, I think it was last weekend, in men's doubles. So he's no stranger to this event.
And he's helping his team to 6-4 in this second game of the 5th event. A top night for the Smashers, and a timeout called.
Yeah, I think that's a good timeout. I think Chris Coles was definitely getting a little bit anxious and stressed there with the net cords in the last couple of rallies. So yeah, timeout would be good for him.
Now, are we about to get a sub?
It looks like it. It looks like Joel Gale's going to come on at some stage. He's, I don't know if it's a bit of kidology but it looks like he's getting ready to play. And
well, Coach has ran around. Yeah. He's had a quick chat.
Saw Lango in the physio room this morning, so I'm not sure what is happening, but maybe it's just a precaution. Hopefully it is, because they're playing very well.
Another shot here. Dean George.
I think with the subs, you don't get any time to warm up, do you? You have to come straight on, so maybe if Lango says, oh, something's hurting, then yeah. I think maybe it's just he's warming up just in case.
I think while he's winning, he'll probably continue. It hurts more when you're losing.
Yeah, good shot.
Well, they'll carry on winning. This is 8-4. No sign of the power play at 7. Didn't need that. 8-4 now. Rather ideal time to bring a sub on if you want to give him some time, or just to rest somebody. Would be 2 up with a power play in the bank, wouldn't it?
Could do. Personally, I wouldn't want to see a substitution now. If one of the Surrey players is injured, then fine. But I wouldn't want to just see a sub just thrown in just for the sake of it.
I think Dean's serve's definitely getting to the Derby pair. I think he's been called now twice for a fault, but the ones that he hasn't been called are still fairly high.
Yeah.
I think Chris is getting very stressed by it.
Oh. Ellis, racket to the floor, and 2-0, 4-0. I'm not even going to say, John, this has been a good night for the Surrey Smashers, because that's an absolute understatement. This has been a tremendous evening.
Yeah, it's they couldn't have hoped for anything better than this. It's to win the match, I'm sure they would have been pleased enough as it is, but if they go away and win this match 5-0, it puts them in a very strong position for the rest of the final 2 remaining matches.
Well, as we said, a 5-0 win here for the Smashers tonight would send a message, really would, to the rest of the league. And Matt, you just 1 set of 9 points away from doing that.
Oh yeah, I'll let you into a little secret that the bench from Surrey was very anxious when we were 2-0 down in the women's doubles. We definitely thought then maybe with our plan when we wanted to come 3-2, it might be a 4-1 loss. Something has changed that, and we've played out of our skin tonight, and everybody has definitely performed a lot better than they're capable, or to their maximum level, which has definitely raised the bar. Oh, good shot.
Ellis with a tremendous shot. High five. He's just slapping himself on the head.
Yeah,
Andy Ellis trying to get himself into the zone, as they say.
Yeah, at the moment the Team Derby players they're not on it, and I think he's just trying to shake a bit of life into himself, just wake himself up.
It genuinely is as if they've just been shell-shocked from moment one, isn't it?
Yeah, they've lost matches tonight that they would have expected to win, and it does play on your mind. It absolutely plays on your mind. However hard you try and however experienced you are, Andy's a very experienced player, been all around the world, and yet it's still playing on his mind.
Yeah, Karin is not lost though. But Team Derby won the first game in the mixed doubles. They won that 9-3. They won the first game in the women's doubles. They won that 9-5. They won the first game in the men's doubles, in the men's singles, should I say, at 9-8. Just not been able to put the Storm to bed, have they? So no, it smashes to bed, should I say? Yeah,
the Surrey team have just played the bigger points far better, and that's been the difference between the two teams. There's very little difference in standards, but just the crucial points, the crucial moments, the Surrey team have been far more solid.
I think, yeah, definitely a good call for the power play there to stop Derby taking that in this set. Really good call.
So Smashers using the power play. A reminder, it's worth 2 on your serve. And just try and get themselves a real foothold in this final. What could be, sorry, so I say. Final game. Oh, and George just hitting it wide, and it's smashed into the crowd by Ellis. So
I think Dean did quite well to get a racket on that. I think Lango hit short cross-court lift there. I don't think that matters too much in this set. I think that we've taken the power play from Derby, using it now. I think that's the biggest point of taking that then.
Powell's judging it nicely. 3 apiece. 4-0. The Smashers.
Nice return there.
I think Dean's hit the same serve a few times, and I think he needs to vary it, maybe go out wide to stop them pouncing on that same serve.
These ladies here will have plenty of work to do after tonight.
Yeah, they don't look best pleased.
Not sure what the mood on the team coach will be on the way to home tonight, but it won't be as good as the changing rooms for the Surrey Smashers. Matt will be off like a rocket after this game. He'll be straight in there to celebrate with his teammates, and it's 4-all.
Well, it gives them bragging rights for the rest of the week.
Absolutely. I'm sure you're...
it won't be mentioned at all in training,
no,
I'm sure.
I was going to say, and on social media, I'm sure you guys are big friends with all the other players of the other teams, and there'll be a few shouts on Twitter, I'd imagine.
Yeah, everyone gets it.
There you go, that's it. There's no other statement. Everyone gets it.
Yeah, I think they do it if it was the other way around, so I think that gives us the right to do it.
Couldn't possibly say whether they would or not, but yeah, you're probably right.
Especially Andy.
If you want to get involved with on social media with this competition, then at NBL_official is all you got to do. Hashtag game changer, hashtag NBL badminton. sure we're ready for the next instalment as well. We've still got plenty to go in this one. Tickets available at badmintonengland.co.uk/NBL tickets. That's straight out from Ellis. That just about, John, has summed up Derby's night, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just at the crucial times. You know, that was potentially a big point. There was 6-5 up, but they won that point. It puts them in a strong position in the set, and then just an easy service error, and it just relieves all the pressure.
Match night 5 is the 23rd of March, so a little while to wait. Team Derby will entertain MK Badminton in the first game at the new Derby Arena, and that'll be live on Sky. So after hearing all of the music and the clapping, they'll just play it in an empty arena. Try and get rid of any of the memories here from Surrey, perhaps. I'm sure they won't. I'm sure it'll be a fantastic atmosphere. The Derby Arena. Give themselves a point here to level it.
Can't. Andy can't take the power play there because Chris has already taken the power play.
Chris has pointed that out. I'm not sure the umpire is fully au fait with this rule here. He's having a minute now. Derby are adamant they're having it. Your captain clearly knows the rules.
That's right. They're not allowed to play the power point.
Yeah, definitely. That's the reason why we played it at 2-all. Yeah. I did call that, and now it's 7-all. Very, very, very good decision that we played the power play at 2-all.
I love that you emphasised that you called it. That's nice.
I did call that.
I know you did.
I did.
I know.
I think I might have copied what Haley said, but I did call it.
No power play, but they do get themselves to a game point here.
Yeah, Dean just tried to do a little bit too much there. A big point like that, you don't want to give an easy point away.
Surrey go to the Barclaycard Arena next to face off against the Birmingham Lions. (2-1).
Interesting that Dean's serving here. Let's hope he doesn't get faulted.
Not 2-1, 8p, should I say. Well, one serve away here, Matt, from a 5-0 whitewash. That is all John Quinn's fault, if it happens. And it does. Well. If you're brand new to the NBL scene, it's the first time you switched on tonight. You are in as much shock as we are. Thank you very much to Matt Nottingham, who's just joined us and now scooted quicker than he was playing earlier. John Quinn, we sat here defiantly a couple of hours ago, maybe, and said, no way will it be 5-0. It's just too tight. It's just too tight, we said.
Yeah, it's a big surprise, and I don't think anybody, even the Surrey players, I'm sure the Surrey players will be shocked. Probably not as shocked as the Derby players, but that's, as I say, that's the magic of the NBL, that it's so hard to call every game. I think all the 3 results tonight, as we're hearing, have all been a surprise, and I think that's what's great about it, that we're going to get these surprises. There's no certainties in sport, and it's a great thing. And the only thing Derby have got to take from tonight is they've got to make sure that they perform better in the next 2 matches. They've got to, I feel, win both their matches if they want to make the final 4. But it's put Surrey in a really strong position to top the table at the end of these end of the group stage matches.
Well, what an evening. If you've enjoyed this, you can get yourself tickets to the Yonex All England Open Badminton Championships. The tickets are on sale. That event is in Birmingham. It's the Barclaycard Arena, formerly the NIA. That's on between the 3rd and 8th of March. Visit www.allenglandbadminton.com for event information and ticket sales. Follow them on Twitter, Yonex All England. As for myself and John, we're off to discuss how on earth that ended 5-0 Team Derby came here with big aspirations. They sat in third position in the table. Of course, they knew the challenge was a big one. I don't quite think they understood how big an effect the crowd, the noise, the atmosphere here at the sports park would have on them. It has finished Surrey Smashers 5, Team Derby nothing. From myself, from John Quinn. Have a great evening. Get yourself involved in NBL. Badminton just got a whole lot quicker. See you next time.
My life